Hello, and welcome to the 30s Comedy Podcast. My name is Clint McKay.
Uncle Marcus.
What up, Marcus?
What's going on, Clint?
What's up? Well, it's been a good week.
It's been a great week.
For me, how do you feel? Sober 14.
Sober
Day
14. Yes, this is week 2 of Sober October. 14 days in. I'm feeling great.
Yeah, I feel really good.
Yeah. The sleep has been great. Just the time management has been good. I've just been more productive.
Yeah.
When I'm not working. I do work a lot, but in my free time, because I think before my biggest consumption, like alcohol consumption, when I'm just at home and not doing a whole lot, I'm like, fuck it, let's just have some whiskey, and then before you know it, it's like I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And now because I don't do that, it's just like I have time to do something productive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then the sleep's been great. I think that's probably the best part is just getting not necessarily 8 hours every day, but at least like 7 hours every day or more. Like there's the other day I got like 10 hours of sleep, which is excellent.
10, wow. Yeah, I got that one of the days too.
Yeah, I took I took like some sleeping gummies, and I know it for sure has melatonin in it, but it has some other stuff too, to where it keeps you asleep.
Yeah.
Because one of my biggest problems with sleep is that I get up a lot during the night. But I took these gummies and they kept me asleep, and I was asleep for 10 hours, and it was incredible. Woke up the next day and you're like, oh, this is how we're supposed to feel every day. Just perfectly rested.
There he is.
How's it been going for you?
Yeah, it's been great. My Whoop has been helping a lot.
The whoopies.
They tell me, because even if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, it still makes me feel good when it's like, oh, you got 6.3, but you slept well, so you got 80%. It's like, whoa, okay.
I think my Whoop's off because it keeps telling me I'm getting like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah,
of
maybe
sleep.
need to check that out.
Maybe
It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been a little bit more than a week because like a week. But I don't know if it's because I move around. I'm a thrasher when I sleep. I'm a thrasher, so I don't know if I'm moving it around while I'm sleeping.
A thrasher.
Yeah. Imagine what you think a sleeping thrasher would be. That's
like Wolverine. Wolverine sitting in the sheets.
Claws.
Wolverine in the sheets, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not destroying the bed, but I think if you were to put a shark into a tub, it would just be like, that's kind of what I do in the bed.
Wow.
But I do sleep alone. So.
Yeah, you have to put that on the Whoop.
Yeah, thrasher.
The Whoop journal, it asks you all these questions, and one of them is, are you single?
Yeah. Because then it would know, I guess.
Well, yeah, because, if someone else is sleeping in the bed with you,
because they could wake you up.
That affects it. And they're snoring or something, too.
You don't get good sleep.
Yeah, if a dog's in there.
I had my dog come in this morning.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing.
That affect your sleep?
I was already awake, so I let him in sometimes.
Dude,
Still in the bed for like 5 minutes. All right, get off.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're messing this up.
What were we talking about?
Just Sober October.
I lost my train of thought, but I was going to say something about sleep. Fuck, whatever. It's been great. I told you earlier, but if for any reason I had to become sober, a health issue, or say I made some bad decisions while I was drunk, which I've done before, but if it happened to like a serious degree, I think I could be sober.
Yeah.
It hasn't been hard.
That's good.
It's just all the pros are just far outweigh the cons to where it's like, I don't really need it.
Absolutely.
That being said, I do want to get drunk. I can't wait to get drunk again.
Drinking sounds great.
Yeah.
Now.
In a safe environment, maybe I'm not going to be driving, of course, but I would like to go out to a nice restaurant and maybe like a nice cigar lounge or something, and then just get fucking ripped.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to go to a place like Uber there and back. And
or have like a sober driver. Nah, fuck the sober drivers. We want these sober people with us.
Yeah.
An Uber driver.
Uber, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get an Uber driver.
It would be a nice little treat yourself.
Yeah.
Of responsible debauchery.
Is that a thing? Responsible debauchery?
Responsible debauchery.
The word is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying I invented it.
Okay.
But
we can invent it right now then.
Here
Responsible debauchery. You're hearing it here first. We'll let you know how it goes. Not going to go well.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. But yeah, as much as I like getting drunk and being in a social environment where drinking is involved, just because like everybody gets loose and you get chatty. I get chatty.
Yeah.
You just have a good time. I do kind of want to do that, or I can't wait to do that again once in a while. But if whatever reason, I could not able to do that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be okay. Because, it gives you a lot of focus to go do other things. Like, I got a lot of school stuff done this week. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of stuff that before I would have stressed out about homework, maybe have a drink because I was stressed out, and then just chill for a bit too long. Mm-hmm. But instead, I've gotten stuff done, and then more stuff done, and then I'm like, oh, I have all this extra time.
Yeah.
And it just, taking away drinking just makes me realize the other stuff that actually does bug me, which is like, my phone, like I feel the need to be on my phone too much. Mm-hmm. And that's come and gone from here and there, you know, like even now being sober, I'm like, I kind of don't care about being on like watching what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I really have FOMO.
It just puts into perspective how much time in a day there is and how you use that time, and like how much there is you can do with the day. Because as we get older, it's like the days fly by. Like, we all know that, but I think it's because you get settled into routines, and if a drinking is part of your routine, then that's just time spent doing that. So once you take that out of the routine, you can just do other stuff instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you start to realize, like, there's a lot less time in the day than you thought there was.
Yeah.
And then now that you're actually getting shit done and you're doing other things, like, oh, wow, like, I'm missing out on all this stuff that I could be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the FOMO now.
Yeah.
Because now when I go on Instagram and I see people, they're at like a brewery or they're at a concert or something, I'm just like, but did they do all the stuff they should do that day?
Yeah.
What did they miss? Because now I'm like, I'm able to go through and knock all that off, to where before I think I would look at my phone and go, well, that would have been kind of nice to go to that. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, I could sleep and then crush it all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Instead of going out to that thing with those people.
Yeah. It just makes you think like, or realize what you want to do. Because there's nothing inherently wrong with that, of other people's, how people spend their time. Like, who cares? Like,
do your thing. Yeah. But it does make me think, now I'm really focusing on stuff that I really, really actually want to do.
Whereas before you didn't really want to do those things.
I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I was like, I was weaker to it, maybe, where I'm like, but it's like that false reality of the false FOMO, where you're like, like that looks like a cool thing. But you're also usually looking at people that you're not actually going to hang out with ever. So watching them, like, because I've made most of the people on my Instagram
because you would be there if you were.
Yeah, because I would be there if I was actually going to actually do this with these people.
Right.
But it's like, oh, no, those are the friends you met who visited here from New York. You're not going to go to New York today.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. You're not going to do it. You're not going to go on that trip that she just did.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm fortunate that I've never really have that FOMO gene in me. It's just not really my thing.
Yeah,
but
I think mine's
I know what you mean, because every once in a while I'll I don't know if FOMO is the right word, but I'll see somebody doing something like, oh, that looks like fun. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be there, but that looks like it's a fun time. But yeah, that's cool that you can notice that now and do other things because of it.
I think, and I also think sober from alcohol is also leading me to just trying to be like healthier. Because I noticed that my vice now has been sugar. Also because the restaurant I work at, it's got all those sodas right there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all accessible to me. Or there's the dessert stuff. And so it's all just right there. And now I'm like, well, I don't think I even need that. Like if people were going to like try to entice you to like, let's go out and get ice cream, or let's go out and do this. I'm just like, is that going to make me happy though? Is it going to make me feel good? Because now that like, I know that I don't need alcohol to be happy. It's like, well, what else can I take out to like increase my happiness? I just want my happiness meter to be like, not maxed out every day, but like close, like pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. You want to be happy.
Yeah.
Interesting you brought up sodas
Mhm.
because we went to the Comedy Store on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at the segues on this show, aren't I?
Here we
I'm just
go.
really good at doing that. So leading into the whole sober thing, I had talked about the last episode or the episode before of about going to a comedy club being sober because in that environment, everybody's drinking unless you're sober as well, which I don't know if anyone else in that room was, but it's like you're not really socializing in there anyway. Everyone's on their own table with their own groups of people, their own friends. And part of the experience of being in a comedy club is that, it's a social drinking environment.
Yeah.
Where that's just part of the thing. It feeds into laughing at the comedian, whatever. And we went on Monday to the Comedy Store as two sober guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine. It was fine. Had a great time. It didn't really take away from the experience at all. The soda thing was funny because our server, before we went to the Comedy Store, we got there early. Comedy Store's in West Hollywood, so there's like a bunch of restaurants and shit out there. So let's get some food. So we went to Pink Taco, which was like 5-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat at the bar, and I got into the bathroom right away. You were there, and you ordered a Sprite, and then I came back. I was like, I'm gonna order a fucking mocktail, something. And so, before I ordered it, I was kind of not embarrassed, but also kind of how is she gonna react to this?
Mm-hmm.
So the bartender was like, oh, what can I get you? And I was like, can you make me a mocktail, or just like a virgin margarita? And she was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, oh, cool. So she made me a virgin margarita, which was just basically sweet and sour, and that was it.
Yeah. It tasted
okay.
good.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I think she put some soda water in it too, just to make sure I wasn't only drinking sweet and sour. Which, thank you. But it was fine. I sat at the bar and I had what, if anyone else saw me drinking, they would think, oh, he's drinking a margarita. They wouldn't know that I wasn't
You're
drinking.
blending in.
Yeah. I'm blending in society. So it was fine. I went to a bar and I ordered it. That was my first time going out since starting sober October. I haven't gone to a restaurant yet because I don't want that temptation of ordering a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered a drink there and it was fine. She didn't give a shit. She doesn't care. Ate her food and then went to the Comedy Store. Same thing. Server comes around and was like, "Oh, what can I get you guys?" And then I was like, "Can you make me a virgin margarita?" And she was like, "You don't want that. It's just going to be sweet and sour." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll have a Sprite." And then I think you tried to order her coffee.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No." Just like,
Man,
do you
just
have
denied,
coffee?
Denied
No.
so quickly.
Yeah.
God, what else can I ask for that'll get denied for?
Yeah. And then you got a Diet Coke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got our drinks and the Sprite was flat.
Glad I got Diet Coke.
Yeah. But I'm not going to complain about a Sprite.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I'll drink my flat Sprite. That I don't know. There's ice in it. It's kind of water. I don't care. And I ended up getting a bottle of water. We both did, and it was fine. It was fine. I laughed a lot at the show. I don't think it took anything away from it. There was no part of me during the show that was like, "Oh, I wish I was drunk right now," or should I had a drink to just kind of get into it more. But yeah, it was fine. How did you feel?
It was a good time. Yeah, because the last time I was at the Comedy Store, I was
You were
sober,
sober last time too.
and yeah, it's a lot similar, and it really does depend on the other people in the crowd because it didn't get too rowdy. There was a point where it was like, oh, okay, people in the back can just shut up. Yeah, come on, dude.
That was towards the end. Well, that happens because you're getting drunker and drunker and yeah. It didn't really feel any different to me. I could do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the lineup?
Yeah, the lineup was pretty epic. Do you have the list of it?
I
can
can
find
get
it
a
on my
list
phone.
of it.
It was pretty epic. I was excited because there's these two female comics that performed that I followed them on Instagram. Names are Kim and Sarah.
Kim
Congdon.
and Sarah Wineshank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have the list. So
They're pretty funny. So I see a lot of their clips online. So I never saw their stand up yet. Mm-hmm. And their stand up was interesting because they write together, but they're so different.
Interesting is probably the right word too.
It is interesting.
Okay, so let me go through
sound effect.
No, that was part of the. It's a video,
poster.
but it's like that's the lineup, but it's whatever music. But it's the Beastie Boys. So the lineup was so it was hosted by what the fuck's his name? Sorry, George Perez hosted it. Okay, and then it was Ryan Sickler's show. It's called The Re-Up.
Yeah.
So he was like his show, but he came on for like. They all did about 15 minutes, I think. But it was Santino, Josh Wolf, Kim, Sarah. Eleanor Kerrigan, she was hilarious.
She's good. Yeah, the Philly.
Yeah, I think she
Philly
was first up. Well, Jet Ski opened it, but she was first up after Jet Ski. And who, by the way, Jet Ski was at the Ontario Improv last night, and I couldn't go, which was really sad because she was her first headlining show. I probably could have gone alone, but I ended up going to bed early last night anyway. So, I mean, whatever. But
sleep,
it's
a big deal.
Sleep. She headlined Ontario Improv last night.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. She's coming up.
Yeah, I can tell she got her hair done.
Yeah, she dyed it blonde.
Good for her.
Like platinum blonde.
Look good.
Yeah, she looks good. She still has the same opening act though that we've seen like 4 times now. How many fuckboys are in the room?
Haven't heard of a fuckboy?
I can tell by your hat. Or, I can't do her voice, but you know what I mean.
I learned what a fuckboy is.
Yeah, she does that. Everyone know I've got a dream. I'm mopping up vomit in the bathroom. Anyway. She headlined Ontario, but she opened the show. But that Eleanor Kerrigan chick was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because she just went for it.
She was just at Philly. She's a Philly comic, but she was just like a Philly woman who just talks shit at everybody.
And that's great, especially in LA.
Yeah.
Because LA people are too afraid to talk shit about each other.
She mentioned it in her act. She was like, "How much of fucking snowflakes? Like you can't. There's no confrontation between you. It's just like, ooh."
Yeah, the snowflake thing. It's been starting to piss me off now.
Really?
Like people being sensitive about stuff.
Go on.
I just think we're just gonna flop back. It's gonna go flop back. Because
Yeah.
if you're too worried about stuff you say, but it's also the like growing up Christian, knowing all the rules in me, it's like, oh, these are all just more rules that I'm just gonna want to just shove it in someone's face.
It's just a pendulum.
Just trash
So
them.
it's like, we swing one way, and it's like how it used to be. Everyone's like, "Go fuck yourself." Right?
Yeah,
and now it's swinging in the direction of like, let's all be nice to each other, which I guess is okay within reason, but also like you got to meet kind of in the middle where it's like, still go fuck yourself. Like I acknowledge that your feelings are hurt, whatever, but fuck off. Like
get over it.
Yeah, get over it.
Get over it.
I don't know.
Suck it up.
I know what you mean, but she was kind of like that, where it's just like, it's really refreshing to hear that.
And that's so East Coast.
It is very East Coast.
East Coast people, they're big on that. So it's like, maybe I just need to go visit the East Coast.
And it's not even like in a malicious way. It's just kind of like, stop being an asshole. Just
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'll beat you up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. We should go to Philadelphia one day.
Let's do it.
Test out. They're gonna know right. They're gonna know right away.
They'll be like, these snowflakes.
They're just gonna look at us and like, he's wearing white Nikes with the black stripe.
Punch him.
Fuck him.
Put some dirt on those shoes.
That's what I'm wearing today, by the way. Brand new Nikes.
New Nikes, yeah. They eat you up in Philly.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
Because Andrew Santino's from Philly too, right?
Chicago.
Yeah. So not quite the same, but
it depends on where in Chicago. Like, they're still kind of.
Are they kind of tough like that
like
too?
South Side's hood, but like they're kind of like that too. Chicagoans. Because he has that. Well, I think it's because he's a ginger. He's just like angry. He has that ginger energy of just like, like you. Gingers. Please weigh in if you're listening.
Yeah.
Why are you always angry?
Get in the comments, gingers.
Yeah. Why are you always mad? Why are you such a temper? You just poking.
Just chill. Come on, dude.
Yeah. He has that energy though. But yeah. So she killed it, and I think Ryan came up next. He was pretty early in the lineup.
Yeah.
And that was my first time hearing him stand up that wasn't like little clips.
Yeah, me
on,
too.
Instagram, because he doesn't have many specials, right?
You listen to his podcast?
I do. I listen to Honeydew. I do listen to the Honeydew.
Is he LA based?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's LA based
here.
too.
He's from Baltimore, but like he's here. He lives here. Yeah, he was funny. He just told stories. It was like that storytelling stand up, as opposed to Sarah, who we can talk about later.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah, but I said before, interesting is definitely the right word to describe those two. But yeah, he was funny. I enjoyed him.
Yeah, it was really two stories that he was able to tell
Yeah.
for like 15 minutes. That's kind of impressive.
It was interesting because like you see somebody online, like, cause I watch the Honeydew. I don't, it's not an audio only for me. I watch the podcast. So like it's interesting seeing somebody online, and then once they actually get on stage, like the kind of presence that they have when they're commanding a room. Cause he looked a lot shorter than I thought from seeing him online. And he looked a lot thinner than I thought he would be, because you see him online, you just see him from like here up, and you're like, oh, he looks kind of like a heavy guy. And then I was like, oh, he's actually not a heavy guy, and it's a really weird kind of, what's the word? Like,
Mind blown. Yeah.
yeah, but not that severe, of just like, oh, that's what they look like.
Right? That's the magic of cameras.
Yeah.
Like, look at us right now.
Yeah.
If
How
you're
tall do you
watching
think I
this.
am? How heavy do you think I am? Speaking of weight, I lost 5 pounds in Sober October.
Good for you.
Thank
Look
you.
at this guy.
Thank you.
Wow.
Lost 5 pounds. Skin's glowing. Stomach's getting sucked in a little bit. It's great.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it was kind of, I felt that way seeing all the stand-ups that I know. Is that like, oh, okay, now I see you. And now I have a better grasp of like you. Because when I watch the podcast, I try to watch as many as I can. I want to see like faces talking to me. You just kind of look at it different. Like, oh, I know you a little bit more because I've seen you in front of me. And seeing him on stage, I kind of had one of those like, oh, I know you a little bit more now. I see you. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if you feel that way.
Maybe, well, because my first thought is I feel that way even when you go to like a game show and you see someone who's hosting there that you know a lot.
Yeah. Like
way, way, way back when I would have been to like, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader once? You see Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
And a show like that is even different because he goes around and he meets everybody.
Yeah.
So that environment's a little bit different. When I would help audiences on the Conan show, that's different too, because you'd see them in between all the scenes that would go on air.
Right.
So that's another environment too, where you'd see them talk about how they're going to cut this, or, hey, we're going to do this different thing. I'm going to change my tie because this is for a month from now. And my friend's going to come out, and it's like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But it's for like 2 months in the future. That kind of stuff's cool because you see like the kind of like the magic of it
Right.
when you go to a show or a performance. So when you go see stand-up, it's kind of like, oh, you see them like more in charge and more like, oh, they're really doing this now.
Yeah.
And
And
so
they just talk
yeah.
about it on their pods, and you're like, all right. And then you actually see it happen. You're like, oh, I get it now. It's kind of like almost a peek behind the curtains. Because you mentioned game shows. I went to The Price is Right, 2008, I think. But it was Drew Carey was hosting it. And that's what I was looking up. I was trying to figure out, like, was it Drew Carey? I think it was. 'Cause I don't remember seeing Bob Barker. I'm pretty sure it was Drew Carey, but it was just like, I think that was my first time, my first like memory of being on a working set, not when no one's working it, like not, we've been to the lot and stuff and no one's on the sets, but being on a working set while everyone's there doing their job, and it's like, whoa, this is really different than seeing it on TV. Yeah, this is kind of like when you see your stand-ups that you like do their thing, it's like, this is it. This is the thing. This is the magic. The magic's happening.
It's magical because you're like, oh, wow, they have no notes. Oh, wow, they're really just talking about this. Oh, they went off that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, after Ryan, who was after Ryan? I don't remember.
Was it Andrew?
Oh yeah, Santino came
Santino.
up. He did his thing.
Yeah.
Material that we've heard.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember the colonoscopy one.
I might have heard it on a podcast.
Oh, maybe.
Um,
Because that was pretty funny.
yeah.
The
He
new
didn't do that
stuff.
last time? I thought
don't
he
think
did.
so.
I remember him being like bent over on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was drunk that last time. I could be wrong. Yeah, Santino came up, and then did the girls go before the bunch of randos went up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the girls came up, and the first one, I thought she was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was definitely more my kind of humor,
Mhm.
I would say. Kim, she was Kim, right?
Yeah.
I never heard of her or her partner. They look to be about like our age, I think,
Yeah. They're like
early 30s.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Early 30s. Yeah.
I could tell by the humor too. She was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I might look into her a little bit more.
Yeah. I think Kim was. She told more personal stories. Even if the stories weren't true,
Right.
they seemed more personal.
Well, she had more of an act, I guess, where she did like some storytelling.
Yeah. And then
but also,
Sarah
like,
Sarah
hit
did a
her
lot of
punchlines.
one-liners.
Yeah, and then Kim, like, she would have like a whole thing and then hit the punchline, and
Yeah.
then she'd go into like another act and be like, "Oh, here's the punchline," and then yeah, that Sarah chick was like, when she came out, I was like, "Oh, okay, she doesn't look like a stand-up. She was like really good-looking
She's.
ginger."
Do you think she's like too good looking?
It's just kind of striking when you see that in a stand-up. You're like,
Mhm.
thumbs off. Like,
Yeah.
you know, why
like,
are you?
I don't
doing-
know if you're allowed.
Why are you doing stand-up?
I don't know if you're allowed to have
what's,
both.
What's fucked up about you? You look like you
Yeah.
haven't made.
Hmm.
And then her act was kind of, it wasn't my thing. I don't know if you liked it, but it was just kind of like random thoughts,
Mhm.
I guess. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I probably would have liked more personal stuff.
Or just like an act.
Something.
There wasn't really an act. It was just like, what was that thing I said in the car?
The
It was
joke
like,
book.
Yeah, yeah, it was very
like
much
a
like
joke
joke book. Jokes? Which
Oh, because you had you made
chimney-
it.
yeah,
You
I
wrote a
was like-
joke. The chimney joke.
yeah, I didn't think I wrote this joke, but it was just like something to the effect of where this is her doing her jokes. It was just like, I don't like chimneys because they smoke. it was like that kind of stuff where you're like, oh, okay, that's funny,
Yeah.
but it's also, but she do something else like completely different. It's like, pens, aren't they inky? Or, you know, it's like, okay, cool.
That was good.
I could write a fourth grader's joke book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't really my thing. But she got some laughs, so good for her. And then afterwards, I don't know if like it was a bunch of day of people being added onto the lineup, but it was a bunch of smaller comics that came up. They were okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were fine. They were just, you could tell they were newer,
Yeah.
earlier in their careers. It's kind of a weird way to close out the show. It didn't really close out on like a high at all.
It was probably because Bert didn't show.
Yeah, Burt was supposed to be in the lineup and didn't show up, which I'm not really surprised he didn't show up.
Mm-hmm. What a Bert thing to do.
What a Burt thing to do.
To not show.
Oh, Josh Wolf was there. I forgot to talk about
Oh.
Josh Wolf because he was pretty funny.
Yeah, because he told the one story.
He had one story for his. He probably went like 20 minutes, but it was one story. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
He was very like all over the stage. He was like on the ground at points, and then like slapping and fucking yelling. He has that laugh too, like the ah.
Have you heard any of his other jokes?
Just I've seen his clips on Instagram because I follow him on Instagram, and then I remember he's on Juicy Scoop sometimes.
Oh.
And then I remember him from Chelsea Lately.
Mm-hmm.
And then After Lately, he was a writer and then like a roundtable regular on that show. All those regulars I still kind of follow because I used to watch Chelsea Lately. So that's how I found Heather McDonald, and then Chris Frangiola, Sarah Colonna, Josh Wolf, Whitney Cummings. That's how she was on there. Christina P was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot. Fortune was on there. She's funny. Who else? Guy Branum's on there. He's really funny. There's a lot of comics that got their like a big boost from Chelsea Lately, which was great. Yeah, Josh Wolf was he was funny.
Yeah, man, if you could do one story and tell it for 15, 20
turn
minutes.
that into a whole act.
Might as well do it.
Yeah, that's a good story. I don't know if it was true or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess parts of it were not
It
true.
felt like it could be.
Felt like it could be. That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah.
Actually, it just matters if it's funny. Who cares if it's true or not? I think Tom Segura said that. It was like, who cares if any of this is true or not? As long as people are
Yeah.
laughing, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, because we're not going to go fact check.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
this.
let me find Josh
with
Wolf's
Mom.
friends to see if this was true or not.
Yeah. Look, I don't care if it's not right. Johnny from 3rd grade,
Yeah.
you're not the one up here on stage telling it.
Track you down on Instagram and see if you were telling the truth.
Tell your own story.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think I want to wait till next month to go back to the Comedy Stores because I want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Yeah.
a good time. Maybe go like on a Wednesday or something when it's nobody there. Actually, I feel like there's never going to be nobody there. It's always packed now. It's
At the Comedy Store,
yeah,
it seems like there's a bit of a revival now.
it's back. Well, COVID's over, so people want to go out and do stuff. Which I'm not surprised. So good for them.
Specifically comedy.
Yeah,
I think there's something about it.
yeah. Did you hear that Robbie Coltrane died?
Yes, I
Died
did.
today. R.I.P.
Very sad.
R.I.P. And I'm smiling.
Oh, Harry
Yeah, it's sad. He's only 72.
played Hagrid on Harry Potter.
Do you like Harry Potter?
I like Harry Potter. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
really.
Because when Harry Potter came out, I was a little younger than you, so like the age of the kids, I think they're like around our age
I remember being the age of Harry when the book came out.
when the book came out. Because when
Right.
the movies came out, I was Harry's age,
Okay.
or at least at the beginning.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I remember the books. They were a bit older than me,
Yeah.
but then I remember seeing like a Scholastic News about the casting of Harry Potter, and going, "Oh, he looks like he could be my age. That's weird." And I saw the movie, and I'm like, "Oh wow, children!" And it didn't freak me out yet.
Okay.
But is that because you have a pet peeve about that
About
about
what?
Harry Potter, right?
I do?
About it just being about children running around.
Oh. I wouldn't call that a pet peeve. That is what it is. It's just kids running around. When did I say that? I don't have a pet peeve about that. It's just that I don't know, it's fucking kids. Like especially as I get older, it's like I don't give a shit about any of this. Like or like when they're doing the teenage stuff and like, oh, snogging. Oh. It's like
Snogging.
this is stupid.
Oh my god.
That's why I liked the Fantastic
Yeah,
Beasts
that's what I
movies.
mean,
Like, I
'cause
like
you
to
like
see
those more.
adults. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see adults
Doing
in
adult
this
stuff
world.
with magic.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Enough with the kids. Enough
Yeah.
with the teenagers.
Because if we're
like,
using polyjuice potions and invisible cloaks
to sneak around libraries, like this is stupid.
as children,
Yeah.
that's just unsupervised stupidity. Adults should be able to do that.
Oh, what a Christian answer. Unsupervised children.
How foolish.
Never.
Indeed.
I was a Harry Potter. No, I'm not like a super fan or anything, but I did enjoy the books and the movies.
Mhm.
I think I went to the midnight premieres with you
Yeah.
for
At least the last one.
For sure, the last one. Maybe like the last two. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things that because I've seen them in the last couple of years, the movies. I've never revisited the books. But seeing the movies, and it's like, yeah, I think I've outgrown this.
Yeah.
It's a little not to my taste.
Know what you
anymore.
want?
No,
Yeah.
nothing against it, but just not like I could
Yeah.
do without this.
Because that's the 30s topic I'd like to talk about is outgrowing things and letting things go.
Oh, okay. Oh, go on. I have a good one.
Because that's
Go
a
on.
good. Is Harry Potter. It's because there's certain fandoms like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney in general, where like kids who grew up with it become 30-year-olds and they hold on to it still. They hold on to it as if they're that 8-year-old who watched it for the first time. And there's a point where you got to let the grip off. You got to just let it go, let it be. And like maybe if there's like a buttered beer that is a 7.5 APV, like maybe you drink that. Like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, if they made alcoholic butterbeer at Universal, I'd get one.
Well, what you do is you get a shot of whiskey and then you put it in the butterbeer.
Well,
and
they
then-
do serve alcohol at that bar.
Yeah.
Or it's not a bar, but it's
Yeah,
like
and they have beer. The beer is they have like beer
Don't they have-
specifically for the land.
Don't they have like a cocktail too that's
Yeah.
like wizard themed?
Yeah, I've
I
tried.
don't know if we tried. I think we just had beers when we were there.
We could do a episode about that.
Let's go next week.
Yeah, after Sober
Let you know.
October.
We'll do a vlog, Universal vlog. Oh yeah, after
Vlog it. November.
Fuck am I saying?
November 2nd.
Let's go
we'll
in December because I think they do Christmas shit there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause they do the light
right.
show in the sky. It's
Let's
pretty
do it in
cool.
December. But yeah, I agree with you. Time to let things go. But it's not like it's not a bad thing. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like fuck Disney, Marvel, whatever they're doing
Yeah.
nowadays. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, it's
Just
great
like-
stuff.
Yeah, it's just not for you anymore. Because I felt that way. So if you're watching this now, that She-Hulk show is on, and every week I haven't watched the last one, but every time I watch it, or even the one before that was Moon Knight. Was that
Yeah,
it?
Moon Knight, Hawkeye.
Whatever. All of them
Yeah.
that I've watched, except for WandaVision, I liked that one. It's just like I watch it every week, kind of like
Just like that.
I'm watching this. Like I don't get anything from this, you know. And I think in my head like this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This is trash. But I think it's just not for me
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's like I know there's kids watching this show that are like really into it. Oh, it was Miss Marvel. That's the one that was before this. That one was whatever, kind of the same thing, like whatever. But like I know there's kids watching this that are like really into it. Good for them. You know, I'm glad you've, you know, it's great that you found something that, you know, piques the imagination and curiosity of children, as corny as that sounds. But I don't need that. I'm an adult.
Exactly.
So it's just, and like the Star Wars shit, I fell off with those.
Yeah,
New movies.
so
When those
Star
three
Wars-
new movies came out, I was
Yeah.
like, this is not for me. Like I don't.
Yeah,
And then
Star
there's like
Wars-
a new Star Wars every fucking year. There's a new horrible show that comes out. That's like, what the hell are we doing?
Star Wars is the thing that gets me. It gets me.
Because you like Star Wars a lot more than I'm kind of okay. Like, all right, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like I don't have the toys or like the. I was never me as a kid.
Yeah, well, so I grew up with all the toys because I had three brothers and we were all kids around the prequels. So when Clone Wars Episode 2 came out, they made the toys for every freaking character, every background character, every single person that's in a frame of a shot. They made toys for them. So we got the toys not knowing anything if like they were going to be in the movie or whatnot. They had
And they
every
still do that,
lightsaber
right?
made.
But they still do that?
They don't do it as much now. Well, because now, that's a totally crazy topic too, because they'll make stuff specifically for the 30-year-olds now
The ones that are
wanting
still
to
holding
get
on to it.
yeah. So there's like no real reason
Like
for
one of
kids
our
to get it.
mutual friends. You know who you are.
No, you are. And because when I worked at Warner Brothers as a tour guide in the break room, there would people would get into crazy debates and discussions about the newer movies.
Yeah.
Ones you're talking about where you're like, I'm not into this, isn't for me. And I'm sitting there going, it's obviously like they're not for me. Why are us 20-somethings talking about this?
Yeah. I hate those kind of discussions with Star Wars movies because it's like, you guys, these movies are not meant to be dissected. They're meant to sell merch to children, or they're meant to make money in China. They're not meant to be dissected. Just go in and have fun if you want, and if you didn't like it, go home and you're fine.
Because they obviously don't care about pleasing your 30-year-old ass. Because you start
that's-
the first movie.
Just push.
Because I remember like The Last Jedi, just like from the opening scroll, the words that were said, I was like, I'm already
I
out.
remember the words.
The words, because it's one of those things where like, okay, like the first one that came out, Force Awakens, they like copy the whole A New Hope. They just
Right,
put in a
right,
girl Luke, and they got like the
They're the
same
same
kind of
shit,
people,
yeah.
same shit, same even planets. It was so
Yep,
much
it's
so
just
that
another
in
desert planet.
yeah, it was so much so in Bob Iger's book, he talks about watching it with George Lucas, and George Lucas, to his credit, he was like, you didn't really do anything new. And in a sense, he's right. Because if
that
you
how he
go
talks?
back, he's like, when we were making Star Wars. Because George Lucas, he's very like he doesn't seem like there's much excitement going on, but he's
Yeah.
made like the most exciting movies
Well,
ever.
he's probably done with it too.
yeah,
It's the same. He's like, you guys.
so done with it. He was done with it after this.
I did it in the
first one.
70s, 78. It was 78,
Yeah,
right? Like, I
yeah.
did this already. I'll take the paycheck now
Yeah.
from you guys, but I'm not, that's it.
Yeah, because have you watched the documentary, the Industrial Light and Magic documentary on Disney Plus? The guys who
maybe.
made Star Wars and all the visual effects.
I don't think so.
Because even in that, he's like, Yeah, well, the first time I did it, I didn't really get to make the movie I wanted to make.
That sounds. I feel like I've heard him say that many times. That's
Yeah.
why he made the new ones, right?
That's why he made the new ones. That's why
prequels.
every time it went on to DVD or Blu-ray, he would like change something. He would
Oh,
add
yeah,
like
yeah.
Jabba the Hutt and give him like a longer tail.
Oh, that's right.
And he would put like a fuzzier wig on Han, and then he would
Right.
make Han shoot last. And it's like, what are you doing?
But oh and you put in that singing lady too.
Yeah, he put in the weird.
Yeah.
Man, freaking Star Wars.
Wait, continue your thought.
But
If it's still there.
so, anyways, yeah. So, anyways, people would get in these harsh, crazy debates, and I'm just like they obviously aren't trying to like do anything different. Because think about even like turning in that first script for the newer Star Wars movie. They're like, so I read the script. I see that. Oh, so it's like basically A New Hope and Empire? Yeah. Okay, let's go with
Yeah,
it.
let's make it.
Let's go make it. Okay,
Yeah.
hurry. We have no time. We have to do this just like Marvel. We have to send it out, send it out, send it out. So it's not even like think about changing anything different.
That's because they already know it works.
They already know it works.
Yeah.
With the Mandalorian show, they said, "Oh, we're gonna let the people who run those cartoons that some people watch. Not everyone watches the Clone Wars show, even though it's pretty good. But I think because they know that like it's again sells the toys.
Yeah.
You get all the clone troopers in there. You sell every clone trooper toy. You make a Leia, Princess Leia toy every freaking 3 months, and a Luke. And Darth Vader's the same. His toy is always the same.
Yeah.
But now they have the show Andor has come out. Andor is like the only thing that like they've made where they're not trying to like please the same like new generation of 8-year-old kids. The Kenobi show, they're trying to still like just give people what they want, where it's like, oh, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi with Darth Vader again. Do we need this? No. Does it like affect the Star Wars universe at all? No. Does it matter if it happened or not? No. People just wanted to see Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan again. So they made that show. But Andor is like this spy thriller thing where it's a pretty good show, but it's because it doesn't have like all the we need to like please people and make toys off this kind of vibe to it. Like you could tell that they were like, hey, you go do this, work on this. We're not even going to like bug you. We're not going to give you any notes. Because, if they give them notes, they'll be like, well, what if Luke Skywalker shows up at the end?
They just need to end it. Be done with it.
The Andor show, it was pretty good. But now they're just
I
like
think
sitting around in Scotland.
Whoever's writing the shows, just make some, like, use whatever these ideas are for these shows and don't make it a Star Wars thing. Just do something else.
Do a new show.
Yeah, just don't even make a Star Wars. You want to make a sci-fi show? Cool. Do something else. Like, just let Star Wars die.
Let it just
That's what this episode's going to
be.
be called. Just let Star Wars die. And that's the clip. Yeah, I don't know. I'm done with Star Wars.
Man, you're such a Kylo Ren.
I was-
Look at you.
Ooh, angry.
America's favorite Disney princess.
More.
Let it die.
Oh, God.
Ray!
Oh, God.
That's all Finn does in the stupid.
Yeah, I was done with Star Wars when that first of the new ones came out. So,
Yeah.
okay.
It's done. Let it go.
I was going to segue. I had a good segue.
Let it
and
go.
I fucking dropped it.
Damn it, Kylo Ren.
Speaking of letting Star Wars die, I saw the new Halloween movie last
Oh,
night.
here we go. You found this segue. You found it.
Well,
man.
I don't know. Like, this
Found a
wasn't the
way.
segue I wanted, but speaking of letting things die, what's with this applies to Star Wars too, I guess. Going back to these IPs that don't need to be going back to. Like, we don't need to go back to them. Like, so Halloween has that first movie, and then the second, there's the first two, and I think the third one, it's like, because do you know much about Halloween?
Yeah, because I've rewatched them all. I
Okay.
rewatched them all leading up to the first
Oh, the new
Halloween
ones?
that came out more recently.
2018 Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
So there's the first Halloween movie, and then there's Halloween 2, and then like The Curse of Michael Myers. I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah, there's Halloween H2O. That was interesting.
Yeah, and H2O. Okay, when H2O came out, that was like Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter. I think John Carpenter originally came back and then he left the project, but it was like, okay, this is it. Like, we're gonna make one more because we want to come back together, but it's over. Like, it's Laurie's final whatever with Michael. And then that movie, I kind of like that movie.
Yeah, I liked
I
it.
remember watching it
I
when
like
I
that
was younger, around the time it came out, 2000. And I liked it. And I've watched it again over like the last couple of years, and it's like, it's not that bad. And then she kills him at the end. You're like, okay, the franchise is over. It's done. And then they make another one after that called Halloween Resurrection. When Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess, showed up for a paycheck because he kills her in like the first 10 minutes, like throws her off a roof. She ends up going crazy. It's like, oh, he's not actually dead. He switched bodies with somebody else and he's still alive. And some crazy bullshit. And then I think, what's his name is in it? Busta Rhymes or something. I don't know. Like doing karate and shit. It's really stupid. So then that one came out and it tanked and everyone hated it. We're done with the Halloween franchise. I think that was the last one. And then 2018 Halloween comes out. And full disclosure, it's not a bad movie. It's got some good stuff in it. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. But it's just like, why? What's my biggest gripe is why are we doing this?
Yeah.
There's no need to go back to this franchise. It's over. It's done. It's like the whole like tag of the movie is like 40 years later, they're ready for the final, like Laurie's ready for her final showdown. It's like 40 years. Like I wasn't alive when the first Halloween came out. You know, I bet everyone was that age, who was also Laurie's age, they're not thinking about, oh, great, Halloween's coming back. I want to see how it ends.
My mom was a babysitter when that movie came out.
Right.
The
It's
first
like
one
our
came out.
parents were the age of Laurie Strode when
Yeah.
that movie came out. They're not thinking about, oh, I can't wait to see what happened to Laurie Strode 40 years later.
Yeah, my mom's moved on.
It's like I said, the movie's not a bad movie, but it's just so unnecessary. It's like, you don't need to do this. If you want, Danny McBride wrote it, which is really random, and with some other people, and it's like, if you have an idea for like a slasher, just do a new slasher. You don't need to do like
a new
Laurie
monster.
Strode. And the movie comes out, it's all right. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. But then the second one comes out, and it's ass. Like, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I was so pissed when I watched it.
It's like, you just have to watch. I can't even get into it.
It wasted my time.
That'd be a whole episode. I'd have to like write out an outline
Yeah.
and be like, this movie sucks because this. That movie was trash, right? But you know there's going to be a sequel to that because they let you know, and
just
it
can't
ends
end it
on kind
like
of
that.
a cliffhanger anyway. Yeah. So I had to see how it ends, and the movie is called Halloween Ends. And I watched it last night, and it was fucking terrible. I don't know if it was as bad as the one before it, because it's just very different. It was like a very different movie. It didn't really feel like a Halloween movie, because Michael Myers doesn't show up until like a good amount of ways into the movie.
That's some BS.
It's about some other kid.
Ugh.
And it's like Laurie Strode is a totally different character. She's like making pies, and she's like, oh, my new daughter out. She's like a really happy lady, and it's like, what? Like, she was a fucking wreck. She was stabbed in the stomach and doped up for the whole last movie. In the movie before that, she was just like a crazy old lady with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And a rifle, whatever. And then this movie, she's just like a homemaker housewife who's like got like a handprints of kids on the kitchen wall, and she's making pumpkin pies. And
like
it's
she's like the house of her granddaughter.
Well, yeah, because her daughter died in the last one.
Yeah.
Randomly, the last 2 minutes, just kill the daughter, and then now she's kind of like adopted the granddaughter as her own, and it's just like it's a fucking mess of a movie, dude. And it's like
I can't.
It just was like, and I gave my money to it. I watched it. I can't complain, but I knew it was gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
Never. It's been a while since I've been that disappointed seeing a movie in a theater. And there was times where I was like, I know it'll be on Peacock tomorrow, which I have. I can just go home now. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't, because I have no words. I'm out of words. It's just it's a bad movie.
Yikes.
And I don't know. It's kind of a not sad, but just like a weird end to the franchise, because I'm, never say never, but I'm sure this will be the last one for a while.
Yeah.
And the way it ended, like, he's not coming back. Right? He's not coming back. spoilers, he's not coming back in the next one. He is actually dead. So,
Sure.
yeah, sure.
All right.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
like,
cool.
okay, in 10 years, who's popular right now? Who's up and coming is popular? Timothy Chalamet is going to be like, I have a script for Halloween 12. You know,
I
and it'll be
really
like,
like I grew up with Halloween H2O.
yeah.
So I want to like bring it back. I want to bring back Michael Myers.
Yeah, and it'll be some like Laurie Strode's 80 years old now.
She's
I'm
still
ready for
playing
my
her.
final confrontation with Michael Myers. And you're like, oh God.
Is it over?
It's funny. There's those clips. So she's doing press. Jamie Lee Curtis is doing press for, I don't know if it's the first one or Halloween Kills of the new trilogy, but she's just like, it's about trauma, right? And then there's people that have clipped together all the press interviews where she just says the same thing over and over again. And it's just like trauma. And it's like, I can see her doing this again in 20 years, being about like consequences. It's like, God, Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's funny too, because she'll do press for her movies and stuff, and the ones that tank, after like a couple years or whenever like her embargoes or whatever, however it works, she'd be like, that movie sucked. Oh, I didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
but I needed the money, or I wanted the money, but it was fucking trash. And you're like, oh. I feel like she's going to do that for these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it like 5 years. Whenever it kind of, after they've been out on DVD or Blu-ray for a while, and like it's settled a little bit, she'd be like, I didn't want to do those, but I signed a contract for 3 movies and they forced me to come back.
I was
and
drunk.
I hated every minute of it.
I was drunk one
Yeah.
night.
And she has talked to, she's in recovery. She's a recovering alcoholic addict. I think alcoholic, maybe cocaine and stuff too. So it's like, she'd be like, I had a what's it called?
Relapse.
A relapse.
Yeah.
And I did those movies. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can skip them. If you
Good.
haven't watched any of the new ones, maybe you can watch the first, but just know that don't watch the other two. Just say like it ended. It ended after those ones. Oh God! And I mentioned this earlier, but they played "Don't Fear the Reaper" over the credits. Blue Oyster Cult, and I wanted to fucking throw.
Just throw
If
up.
I wasn't in a theater with people, I would have just thrown my popcorn at the screen. I was so like, oh, so on the nose. Like, Jesus Christ. Movie sucks. And it thinks I'm stupid. So,
It thinks you're. Yeah.
yeah. Fuck it.
So do the Star Wars writers.
Yeah, fuck those guys too, man. There's such mediocrity. We're just celebrating
I'm done.
mediocrity nowadays. It's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to settle for mediocrity. It's okay to call something mediocre or bad. Like, it's okay to like, I don't like this. Let's strive for something better, something new and something interesting. And just stop settling for mediocrity.
Yeah.
Stop settling for mediocrity. You don't want to do that.
Come on, people.
It's not beneficial to anybody.
Yeah. How about they sober October from just going with all the IP that they own? Just
It's a
detox.
cleanse.
Detox from the
Yeah.
cleanse from it. Just step away for like 30 days and see what ideas you get.
Well, it sucks because they make money. It's all a business. So
Yeah.
that's what it has to come down to. And new stuff doesn't always make money. Whatever. Don't watch Halloween. Do you want to do one more quiz before we wrap
Sure.
up here? Because we're running out of time. And since we are in spooky season, I did go again to our favorite quiz generator, BuzzFeed.
What year is
Trash,
this?
dude.
God.
But it says your daily meals
Oh.
will reveal exactly which Disney villain you are.
Ooh.
No villains.
I like this one.
Halloween, spooky. So again, you're gonna do this quiz. Maybe one day I'll do one, but for now you're doing them. So, okay, this is pick a breakfast.
Okay.
So you have right band bacon on Upsplash. We'll just do bacon. Bacon. Wait a minute. God, BuzzFeed.
What have they done now?
They have the meals, but it's not. I'm just going to describe them by pictures. Bacon and eggs, pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, or berries and yogurt.
I'll do pancakes.
Okay. Choose a breakfast drink.
Mm.
I think for that last one, I'd probably do oatmeal. Like oatmeal. Okay. Orange juice, water, a smoothie, milk, or coffee. Coffee with milk.
Coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Over all the other ones.
The milk's being poured in the coffee. Choose an evening snack. Ritz crackers, banana, avocado toast as an evening snack, Pringles or toast, regular toast.
I'll say banana.
Okay. Lunchtime. Chow mein, a ham and zucchini sandwich,
Ew.
wontons, pizza, or I'm too full.
Pizza was the only one that didn't sound so weird.
Really? Chow mein?
know. Chow mein's, that's normal. Just seemed random.
Panda Express.
Yeah.
Dinner is a burger, fish and chips. That's the one I'm choosing. Looks like pad thai. And then also pho or pasta.
Ooh.
Pesto pasta.
I'll do pasta.
Okay, yeah, pasta.
Pasta.
What's for dessert?
Ooh.
An ice cream cone. Just berries and nuts and milk. We'll say yogurt. Berries and nuts and yogurt. Chocolate brownies, gummy bears, or a sundae.
Ooh, I'll go Sunday.
Lastly, any midnight snacks. Wait, for that last one, I think I would probably choose brownies.
Brownies sounded good.
Yeah, brownies sound good. These look like fudge brownies.
Ooh.
Lastly, any midnight snacks. Popcorn, cookies, specifically chocolate chip. These are like the gooey chocolate chip cookies that you pull apart. Popsicle, gummy worms, or no way.
I'll do those cookies.
Okay, I would do no way. I don't like eating midnight snacks.
I do the drum roll
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. That's the last one. Your Disney villain is Hades.
yes.
King of the underworld, but when you're around him, everything goes wrong.
Well,
And then it's the gif of Hades with his head on fire going, okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
that's me.
You want to see?
I love it. There he is. Yeah.
So, you're a bit of a hothead according to this thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we're about at the end here, so we can wrap up for today. Thank you for being here. You can find me on Instagram at Uncle 2_Marcus. 2_Marcus. Clint, where can they find you?
Instagram at the _Clinton_show. TikTok.
No.
Yeah.
I tried it.
I'll try it.
Like
I'll be on it. I don't know. Twitter's fun.
We're on YouTube, 30s Podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, all the things. You can email us at the30spodcast@gmail.com. I think that's what it is. The links are all there.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. See you next time.
See y'all.